Hello everyone, this is Alejandro Cremades, and today we're going to be talking about how to find your target audience. So before we get started, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, and this way you will never miss out on any of the videos that we roll out every week. So finding your customers, retaining them, being there, making them loyal is everything. In today's video, we're going to be breaking it down for you and walking you through it step by step. So without further ado, let's get into it. So you want to start really understanding where is your target audience. I mean, you are starting with a big vision for your business. You have a big vision, you know how you're going to be starting, just to put an example, with a store and then building it into what's going to become a mall. But first, you need to understand what that mall is going to be, what it's going to look like, and then how do you reverse back engineer the process to where you are today? Because most likely the customers that you're going after today are going to change over the course of time until you're in the mall. In the mall, there's going to be all types of customers and different types of personas. But think about it. When Tesla launched the first model back in 2008, they were more expensive. They didn't have the charging stations that they have now everywhere. Now they're more affordable. Now there's more people that can actually purchase a Tesla. They have different ways to purchase a Tesla, financing methods to purchase a Tesla. None of that was available back in 2008. So obviously the target audience and that persona has changed over the course of time. The same thing, for example, with Amazon. When Amazon started, they were essentially selling books, but they knew that they wanted to be the everything store. And now you can buy anything that you want on Amazon. But again, things have changed for Amazon, and that profile or that audience has also changed over the course of time. So again, you want to be very clear who is going to be most likely to really buy your stuff and be interested with your stuff today, and then have an idea as to how that is going to be shifting and transitioning over time as your company matures. So why is the target audience so important? I mean, the target audience is everything. Really understanding who you're going after and really having data that validates who you're going after is going to allow you to understand how you can really make a meaningful business. There is a great report that CB Insights, which is a research company, came out with, that they essentially pointed out several factors that essentially triggered failure of a business. And what were some of those ingredients that were repeated over the course of time over and over when startups failed. And based on that data and that research, some of those factors were the following: no market need for their product, running out of cash, not having the right team, pricing, poor products, business models, poor marketing, ignoring customers, poor product timing, lack of focus. So as you see, not having really the target audience in place is going to be an incredible trigger. And by really knowing who you're going after, you're going to ultimately de-risk the execution that you have in front of you for the next 18 to 24 months, which is really what you want to do here. So according to the same research from CB Insights, over 42% of companies that failed did so because they brought a product to market where there was no need. So that's why, more than anything, you want to be familiar with what is the problem, what is that problem that your customers or your potential customers are experiencing. So again, if there is no need for your product or your service, nobody is going to buy it. So be very clear as to what is the gap in the market that you're covering by bringing your product or your service to market. So product market fit is absolutely essential. And product market fit, it really happens when your product or your service is flying off the shelves. You can't keep up with perhaps customer support, with people opening accounts. It's just skyrocketing. And that's when you've really hit a nerve in the market. I mean, some of the key things that really come into place here, when determining, the product market fit and knowing the success could be any of the following: product design, delivery, the shopping experience, customer care and after sales, pricing, branding, who you bring onto your team to make all this happen the right way. So if you find your target audience very well and you listen to them, you're going to be able to get to product market fit. And if you want to know whether or not you have product market fit, it's very simple. Ask your customers, if you could no longer use our product or service, would you be very disappointed, just a little bit disappointed, or you wouldn't care? If you don't get over 65% of people responding that they would be extremely disappointed, that means you don't have product market fit and you need to go back to the drawing board. So again, over 65% of people would be extremely disappointed if they could no longer use your product or service. So marketing. Marketing is another one. I mean, when you really are able to nail it in the marketing, when you know you put $1 in, you take $2 out or $3 out, you know your customer acquisition cost, your lifetime value, all of these different metrics that make a big difference, that's going to give you even more data. It's going to help you understand where are your customers and where does the audience ultimately live. I mean, if you're, for example, using ads on places like Facebook, it even breaks down for you what's the age. Are they female? Are they male? Where do they live? Do they have a degree? Don't they have a degree? Do they have a master's degree? What is that? And what's their level of education? They give you all that data. So the more that you spend on ads and the more that you get to optimize ultimately the people that you're going to go after. So really nailing it on the marketing, understanding your funnel, understanding who you're going after, and tweaking and iterating on that is ultimately going to allow you to achieve perfection when it comes to nailing it on your target audience. So knowing your target audience is also going to allow you to differentiate yourself from competitors. So again, asking your customers, who do they use and why? What do they like about them? What do they don't like about them? So really understanding some of the gaps that your competitors are leaving and how you're able to address your customers by giving them exactly what they're missing from other players is going to help you to really stand out from everyone else and to find your blue ocean strategy, which is where can you swim where nobody else is swimming. You also want to know if your market is big enough. You want to get out there, you want to see how many people you can target. Again, if your market is not $1 billion plus, most likely big investors like venture capital firms, they're not going to even want to touch it, because that means that that's going to limit also the potential returns that investors are going to get. And then also you should think about return on time too. I mean, you should go after essentially people and also markets that are big enough for you to really execute and to do something great about it. So how do you find your target audience? What are some of those tactics that you could use? I mean, you definitely should go online, you should research. There's probably great reports, great studies that have been published. And essentially, I mean, some of those studies and reports may cost you an arm and a leg, but there's no need to really invest a lot of money on this. You can actually do some research and find some of those studies and some of those numbers that are perhaps published on Google, like publicly available to everyone. So no need to spend a lot of money here. But some of those reports and studies are going to allow you to understand how big this is going to be, who you're going after, any data points that are going to help you to understand who you're going after, how you can market to them, how you can put yourself in front of them, and how you can also optimize ultimately the product and the service that you want to launch in the market. So again, you want to do a lot of tests. You want to market out there. You want to maybe put together the landing page where you're sending and driving traffic to it, and you can see how people are reacting with it. You can actually put some plugins and some different tools that you could use, like DropYard, to see what they think and how people are navigating through your stuff. You can also use perhaps funnels. You can see on the pics on the pixel that you install from Facebook. You can see like where they're at in the funnel, where the drop-off is, how that onboarding works. You can also use other tools like Kissmetrics, where you can see throughout the flow of onboarding, purchasing, and retaining them, how the customer is ultimately behaving. You want to be able to use that because that's going to help you in knowing whether that audience is the right one or perhaps there's a different audience that you should be going after. So your target audience ultimately is going to define the DNA of your business. So without a doubt, critical is going to direct your advertising, your marketing, the input and the output that you're able to get for all the hard work. So it's all about working smart so that you can get the better results. So get out there and get your own customers. So hopefully you like this video, hit a like and leave a comment underneath and let me know what you're up to and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out on all the videos that we're rolling out every week. And if you're raising capital, send me an email at alejandro@pantheraadvisors.com. I would love to help you out with your fundraising efforts. Thank you so much for watching.